Level up your game with Corsair, the global leader in high-performance gear for gamers, content creators, and PC enthusiasts. From award-winning PC components to premium streaming equipment, smart lighting, and esports coaching services, Corsair delivers an ecosystem designed for peak performance. Whether you're a casual gamer or a pro, alleviate your setup with Corsair. Shop now at Corsair.com. That's Corsair.com. Corsair. Are you ready to take control of your health? At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. Say goodbye to long waits and office visits. Check your health on your own terms with 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today and free yourself from traditional medicine. That's the number 4uhealth.com.
Pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about comic books, costumes, facts, boots, and other stuff.
In this week's issue, cops fighting crime in a future time.
Welcome into Pros, Foes, and Heroes. I'm Zach, joined as always by the what is something? The Miranda
rights
one.
reader.
Yeah,
That's
Mike.
me.
I'm Zach. That's Mike.
That's me. You have the right.
I was trying to think.
Remain on our podcast.
I should always think of these before we get right in that moment. That would probably help us out a lot. Also, though, something else. What we're covering today, what you saw in the intro. It's cops, and I actually have the actual issue.
You do have the actual issue.
I picked this up a couple years ago.
You have the actual issue.
I picked this up a couple years ago when we were on vacation in Galveston. Sometimes if we're there, I like to stop by just small places.
Galveston, oh Galveston.
And based off the cover, I was like,
"Thank you."
Oh, this is that's. Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore it.
No, you're
fantastic.
Fine. Yeah.
But I was like,
in the audience.
Oh, I see. I was like, this looks like something that would work for bros. Again, 2 years ago.
But does it work for foes?
Maybe.
Does it work for
heroes? And I bought a couple issues. So I don't just have one. I have like issues 2, 4, and 5 out of 15. And it's all 3. It's all based off the covers. Because I was like, oh, okay.
Did you read them all?
No, like I have them. Because so I'm saying if this is the one that ends up winning, I will have physical copies of this. I also have physical copy of the next one we're doing. I tended to use things that I randomly had.
Physical copies, physical copies.
So just a really quick recap. What we're doing our own kind of you decide. Yeah. We talked about it a little bit, and I'll dive into it probably a little more on Scarlet of what the whole you decide thing was between Bill Jemis, who was running
something behind me here,
running Marvel at the time, and Peter David with Captain Marvel and Marvel and Ultimate Adventures. And they all basically they printed the 3 titles, and whichever one sold the best wasn't going to get canceled and would keep going.
Looking at Pete's book.
I thought that we would present you guys with 3 different number 1 issues and then put it up to a vote and see which one deserves to be covered more, either for being just absolutely awful or for being good. But that is what we're in the middle of it. We already did the Guardians of the Galaxy issue 1 from the 1990 series.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Today, this is from 1989, and this is a giant-sized first issue of cops
giant size
fighting crime in a future time. And let's break the fourth wall real quick, Mike. I got a present for you.
Yeah. Oh, very nice.
There you go. So Mike won't necessarily have to look at the computer screen while we do this, but let me bring you guys in here to see the cover.
I did like this game though, Gauntlet.
Oh, dude, I loved RBI baseball underneath it. You know, they also did an arcade cabinet for Gauntlet that I remember playing at the Washateria.
Yeah.
We had to go to Washateria to watch.
I remember they had a
Gauntlet
tabletop version
really?
At the arcade by Baylor over here.
Okay.
That no longer exists.
Yeah.
But I would stop specifically there to go in and play Gauntlet for a little bit.
There was also a tabletop at a Dairy Queen out in the middle of some random town of Pac-Man that I remember. that you go get a Hunger Buster and then play
My
Pac-Man.
ex-wife's father, who is now dead, had a tabletop Pac-Man machine.
Oh, it's cool. The
It's
tabletop
the only
ones.
thing I liked about that, man.
You were talking about, like the ones that you sit down at and like hunch over.
Yeah, like Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So cops
always wanted Pizza Hut. You know? You remember that?
See here, no, I don't remember one at Pizza Hut.
Really?
The Dairy Queen is the only one I remember. I remember them having like arcade games at Pizza Hut, but never.
I'm just saying, Pizza Hut. The Pizza Hut I went to always had the Pac-Man tabletop.
Random comic thing.
Cool.
You know what I remember from the early '90s too that Pizza Hut did is that you got either there were books that came with it. I guess like for kids meals kind of thing. Yeah, like you could buy like a kids meal kind of, and it came with a book. Or you could purchase a pizza and it came with a VHS of an episode or 2 episodes of X-Men the animated series from the early 90s. It was a thing that Fox or Fox Kids or Marvel and Pizza Hut did. I just remember that.
Do they still make personal pan pizzas?
I haven't been to Pizza.
God, those were so good.
Why do I?
They got all crispy
pizza
around the edges and stuff.
Yeah, the small ones are the way to go.
Oh,
all right. So cops fighting crime at a future time. Mike, when you look at this, what do you think? Are we going to
cover Lane Mastodon?
Why are you getting ahead? I shouldn't have given you that. Go back to the beginning.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay,
yes, I think I did. I made sure to save that ad in here.
Yep.
But when you look at this, Mike, what do you think of?
What do I think of when I see this? I think of a Saturday morning cartoon or some toys. That's what I think of.
I would also like to bring up that the writer is Doug Moench on this, and comic book fans might. I want to make sure I give the credits where it's due. Comic book fans might know Mr. Moench for having a hand in the Batman Nightfall story, but also he created Moon Knight. But sometimes when you work for a company, you got to do things you don't want to do, like including write issues of Cops. So I'm trying to find the rest of the staff. Doug Moench is the writer. Pat Broderick is the penciler. Pablo Marcos, the inker. Colorist is Gene D'Angelo, and the letter is John Costanza.
Yours is different.
Editor is Andrew Helfer.
And then I also want to point out that I don't think Ram trucks existed at this time.
I think it's just because it rams it.
Right. But I'm saying I think now they would have a copyright issue.
That's true.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But so
they also have a garbage issue.
When I picked this up, I was like, all right, this has to be something that was made to sell toys. Like that was in my mind. I think it just
looks like it.
It looks like it. I think we had talked about Animax at the time that was done for that, or we had talked about I don't think Brute Force was used.
They have a robot dog here with the siren on it.
US Archer. Remember, US Archer was essentially used to sell toys and stuff too. So
what was the Hot Wheels kid?
The Hot Wheels kid.
Yeah,
US Archer.
Is that who it was?
Okay. Yeah, remember he had the computer brain and the 18-wheeler? Yeah. That was like episode 3. It was it was a great one. Yeah. We need to go and revisit some of these sometimes. But so I was like, all right, this has to be, this has to be like a toy thing. And I kind of knew diving into it. And the more I read, the more I was like, oh yeah, this for sure feels like it was made to sell toys. And then it hit me, Mike, maybe it wasn't necessarily toys, but it was something else instead.
Cops, central organization of police specialists, fighting crime in a future time, protecting the inner city from Big Boss and his gang of crooks.
Doesn't look like. Oh, we're actually going to start a song.
Remind me, I'm going to tell you about that. His name is. Some of these guys know their name. They just throw a cop car. Hey, you know, you could cut out a major part of the bridge and nobody said anything about that. If we cut a hole, if they're protecting people, they'll take those taxes for that.
It's crime fighting time.
That's right. It's crime fighting time. And here, the last piece of it is also found the outro of it to gives you a roll call at the end of the show, so you can meet everybody. If you're watching, you'll have to look over the the credits to kind of see them, but you'll be able to hear the roll call.
Ooh.
They don't only give the roll call of the heroes, but also of the villains too.
Cops, roll call. Highway, Mainframe, Long Arm, Bowser and Blitz, Sundown, Hardtop, Mirage, Bullseye, Mace, Barricade, and they call me Bulletproof. These are Empire City's most wanted crooks. Berserko, Rock Crusher, Misdemeanor, Turbo Two-Tone, Dr. Bad Vibes, Nightshade. Use caution in apprehending.
The first time I heard that, when it goes Nightshade and then there's a little bit of space and it goes use caution and apprehending and it shows her jump, I thought that was the name of another bad guy. And I was like, that is a terrible name if you're like, oh, it's me, the villain. Use caution when apprehending.
Well, number one, I wonder what Rock Crusher does.
He crushes rocks. I
Oh,
think.
okay. And how do you get out of that and not go, oh, Dr. Bad Vibes? That's my favorite.
So let's go ahead.
His brain hangs out.
This was a comic book based off
His
of a
hanging
cartoon. It is, and it's not, at least in issue 1 here, it is not brought up at all. I don't think it is during the series. I watched a little bit of the cartoon. I can only get through so much. The villain sounds like a 40s gangster in voice, but not necessarily accent.
What was the
Like
main
just
guy's
the
name?
inflect. The main bad guy is
No, the main
called
good guy.
Bulletproof.
And I'm bulletproof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the bad guy's like you would think like what is the cat, like Jimmy Cagney, kind of like, see here, like kind of voice,
Yeah.
you know. It's like
See
that.
there?
But
See?
and the inflect, like that's what he sounds like, and he's very annoying. Anyway,
We're stealing all the money, see?
so what they did is DC in 1989, or I guess this came out in 88 of August, produced a 15-issue series based off this comic book. 15. So
Dear
we have plenty
God.
to get into, and I can tell you the intro differs in the comic than it does from the cartoon.
No shit.
Yeah, so we open up at this
I don't
airport.
know that there was a lot of care in this. You
In
know what I'm saying?
88?
Like continuity and things like that. They're like, yeah,
They didn't think, oh, we're gonna do so much with this cop's property.
we just need more people,
So
more
this
bad
is-
guys.
This is option number 2 against Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
We open up at
I like this one
Empire
so far.
Empire City Airport, and there's this robot that just kind of comes through,
Yeah.
like making noises, and he cuts through a building wall where they're like loading something up. And he
Fragile
just
wall.
like shoots up the
It says fragile load,
it-
deet. Fragile load, deet.
yeah.
What does that mean? What does deet mean?
I think that's just like his robot
That's what you
noises
spray
that
on
he's
it,
making.
on mosquitoes.
It is, but I don't know how many E's and T's there are.
Okay, so this is Buzz Bomb. the
Yes,
name of the
Buzz
robot.
Bomb is the name of the
Okay.
robot.
Yeah.
All the workers scare away, and
he
as he
is.
comes in and he like opens up the boxes, he accidentally, what we find out they're unloading is just a lot of money.
You have watched the cartoon?
A
Some of
little,
it?
like 5 minutes.
So did you hear?
no, I
Dr.
did not get Bad Vibes' voice.
Oh, you didn't hear it? Okay,
But-
here's his voice. I'm gonna do his voice for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
Now find the bag for the cash.
That's
It's gotta
exactly-
be that. It's gotta be
That's
that.
exactly what I thought. We'll look it up afterwards because
Uh-huh.
he's in it. But
it's
yeah,
gotta be that.
so they round up all this money. Essentially, Bad Vibes used his robot to steal all this money from the airport. I don't
That's
know
what
why
I
they're
don't
unloading
understand
money.
either. Why is the airport got so much cash?
I mean, I guess like they're moving money.
I
Maybe you don't
guess.
drive. Like if you have to move cash from like one state to
I
another
guess,
that's further
man.
away, you don't drive in an armored car. I don't know. Also, there was an ad in here that I thought was cool for V for Vendetta that you got to see.
Yeah, I
although
saw
it was
that.
coming out at the time.
yeah.
So there's things like that I like to throw in there. This is where we're introduced to the big boss. Is the big bad's name? That's the guy in the suit, and he has a cybernetic ferret.
Is this before the? This is before the movie, right? This
Oh,
is
yeah, a
before
long
the
time
finish
before
of the yeah.
This is during when the comic was
It
coming
says
out, or they were
completing the
playing it
original
out.
series from 1982, and this says 1988. So
Yeah.
there we go.
So, oh yeah, I guess he started it back in when he was doing Miracle Man and all that.
Great
And
movie.
they probably-
Great movie.
That's another one. We have more Alan Moore to get into at times. But so Big Boss has a cybernetic ferret. Or, I'm sorry, not ferret. It's a half bionic weasel.
Where the hell is this? Let me. Oh,
That's yeah.
is that the thing that jumps off his head?
Yeah, that's that little thing there. It's a cybernetic
Oh,
weasel.
This is
Then we
insane.
see like all of his other. They talk about this Dr. Bad Vibes guy and how he wants to be a part of the group. And we're introduced to the other characters, which we had a roll call for. Like there's Misdemeanor, who looks a lot prettier in the comics than she does in the cartoon.
Is this guy's name Atrocity? The one with the shirt that says "Bad is good" on his shirt.
No, that's Berserko.
Oh, okay.
That's his nephew.
Oh, okay. All right.
But yeah, it's Berserko. And then Dr. Bad Vibe shows up and just dumps all the cash out there. And it's essentially like, hey, I want to be a part of this group. Plus, I have ideas for this machine that'll make, like, you know, the cops trying to catch you guys like so much easier of them not being able to do it. Like, to keep them off your tail.
need to rub my brain. Rub it.
And so they're like, all right, Bad Vibes, you go make your machine. Everybody else, I want a crime spree that this city's never seen.
Oh.
And he sends them out. The thing that I love is you see the guy down there in the jacket, Mike.
Yeah.
His name is Buttons McBoom Boom.
Buttons McBoom Boom.
That's like his security guard. He looks like a Dick Tracy villain.
I'll go with Buttons McBoom Boom.
Also, the guy that has like no hair next to him.
Yeah.
That is like his chauffeur and
It's
like
gotta be cue ball.
butler. No, it's like Scott Free or Scott Free.
It's just like
Scott Free is Mr.
Free.
Miracle, so it's not Scott Free.
Okay.
But it's something similar like that, or
Yeah.
Squeaky Clean. Something
Squeaky
I think it
Clean.
might be Squeaky Clean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that is,
Squeaky
but
Clean.
it's clean with a K.
Yeah. Also, to keep an eye on Squeaky Clean. See,
Ah.
he don't try to twist off, scratch his head again.
So everybody goes out on a crime spree. They do different things. They
I like how
rob
they call
jewelry
him Big
stores.
Boss.
And it attracts the attention of a big FBI agent, Agent Vess, who we saw, which is our bulletproof,
Okay.
to show up to Empire City because he's the guy who knows like Big Boss. And so like that's why they bring him in. Like he's had the most dealings with him, so he'd be able to bring him down. We'll come to find out later like what kind of dealings those are, but they're kind of left a little secretive right now. Agent O'Malley there does not like the FBI agents coming in on their turf kind of
Sure.
thing. He's like, hey, this is our city. And Agent Vest is like, no, I get that. I would be the same way if I were a cop here too. Like,
Mhm.
I get how you're an old school guy. Like, you don't feel like there's room for technology out there in the police force. Like, that's a conversation that.
Now get the F out of my way.
They go to the airport. They run some little cool metal tests with that little stick there to find out like what metal was used on the blades to cut through the area where the robot went through. So
Yeah.
they will get the beat
You mean
on
Buzz
knowing
Bomb?
that it's the buzz bomb. They will get the beat on knowing that it's Dr. Bad Vibes that broke into this. But
So his real name, okay, is Dr. Percy Cranial,
yes,
inventor?
yes.
Cranial.
I don't know if inventor is part of his name, but Dr. Percy
I'm going to assume it is.
Cranial is.
I've done nothing wrong.
They talk about when they go back before we get there, they're back at the this is just going to come into play later, so that's why I'm bringing it up. They
Sure.
go back to the police station, and Agent Vest, who's our FBI agent in town that's there to catch Big Boss,
Boss.
talks to O'Malley, who is like the captain there of that precinct of Empire City.
Sure.
And he's like, oh, I'm glad to see that, you know, you're not completely in the Stone Age. You have the, you know, the police computer over there in the corner. And he's like, no, even though I'm against technology, like I know it has its uses. Like this is a whole thing, but the police computer will come into play later.
I like how the police computer prints out on
The dot matrix
yeah,
paper.
the dot matrix paper.
Yeah.
It's the future.
They go visit Dr. Cranial, who tells him he's done nothing wrong.
I've done nothing wrong.
While they're there, Big Boss realizes that, oh, so Agent Vest went and paid Cranial a visit. I hate Agent Vest because a long time ago he nailed the crime, or well, he didn't nail him, but you know, he like put him in jail.
Yeah.
The crime boss.
But
I don't know why I did that. The crime boss of New York. And he's like, that crime boss was promptly sent up the river. That crime boss promptly died in prison. That crime boss was my twin brother.
Oh,
Yeah.
that did it.
So that's why he hates Agent Vest. So he's like, you know what? We got to take care of Vest.
The guy with the giant head in the stripes is his twin brother?
No, the crime boss of New York was Big Boss's
Oh,
twin
okay.
brother.
All right.
Um,
God almighty. This is so hard to follow.
well, I mean, I could explain more. I was
No,
trying
no,
to do
no,
it
no,
quickly.
no, no. Please, dear God, don't.
I can slow it down.
No, I'm good.
Maybe people aren't following this after all.
Oh my God, come on.
So he's like, we got to take care of Agent Vest then.
Oh,
And Rock
Agent
Crush's like,
Vest.
all right, Two-Tone and I will go take care of it.
two-tone.
So O'Malley and Agent Vest go back to like the hotel he's staying at, and they're like, all right, we're gonna get another blueprint of Cranial's place. Like he's not telling us the truth. They think he's up to something that he obviously had something to do with stealing all that money. And Two-Tone shoots this giant rocket launcher from I guess a building across the way at the hotel room or the apartment that they're staying in.
Because that's how things work.
Yeah, and the blast, O'Malley is protected. Oh, it's the evidence room. I'm sorry, they do it at the police station.
Yeah.
And the blast as
Zach,
as Vest, I know, my bad. As Agent Vest walks into the evidence room, he's hit by the blast.
I mean, this is TV material.
And O'Malley turns around to save, like O'Malley's safe, but Vest is obviously hurt. He's in the hospital now. And doctors want to operate to save his life. And he's like, no, not until I see Officer O'Malley. I need to talk to him.
Holding his hand?
Because he's checking his pulse.
It's his hand.
You're going to be okay. He's a very nice doctor.
Yeah,
his bedside manner is really nice. But so Agent Vest, he tells the doctor not until I speak to Officer O'Malley. So, and they tell O'Malley to bring, or he tells O'Malley to bring the police computer in there.
Why is let me do it this way. Why is Betty in the comic? Look, it looks like Betty from Archie.
No, it's I know, it's
Tina
Cassidy.
It's what?
Tina Cassidy is her name.
Okay, yeah.
And then Donnie Brooks.
Donnie Brooks.
Donnie Brooks is the other guy.
He's Irish.
He likes to fight.
Yeah.
So
Donnie Brooks. What an idiot name.
I did.
God
Here's
almighty.
the thing. I didn't pick up on the whole Donnie Brooks thing until right now.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He loves to fight.
So Vest tells him, he's like, where is it? He has specific instructions for them to type into the computer. He tells them, punch in the code 911, repeated backwards 9 times. So you have to push 119 9 times into the computer, and it prints out this list of the greatest cops, like that he's been keeping, like this task force list of like if we ever needed
list.
Yeah, he's like, if we ever needed all like the best of the best to fight this, like insurmountable odds, like these are the guys I'd want. I need you to go and make sure that they're the guys I think they are. I need you to be that old school cop and look them in the eyes and shake their hands and make sure that they're the cops we need on the force. I'm only paraphrasing a little bit about what's being said there. And they print off the list, and the first name on the list is PJ O'Malley.
What?
But that's O'Malley there. That's already the head of Empire, the station. How did he know? And he was like, I already read about you. I knew about you, but I just had to see and judge you for myself. And you're equipped to get this squad together. I need you to help me. And like he sends them out to go do that. And they call the doctors in. He's like, all right, I'm ready for surgery now. And you see there's like a cybernetic chest thing over there.
They used a bad word too.
Did they?
It's going to be one hell of an operation.
Let's hope that Donnie didn't hear that.
Oh, those kids, boy. They probably love
that. But
you
see a cybernetic chest there that it looks they're going to install on Agent Vest.
Yeah.
So what we then get is essentially a montage of them going from city to city, just finding these people. Like this guy's like a one man. What's his name? Colt Howard. I think they called him, like, I don't remember all their code names. They don't tell you them all here.
Colt's a real hard nose, everything by the book.
Yeah.
But
then there's like a pilot
we got.
Then there's a pilot in Miami that they hunt down.
Does anybody at any point throw their badge on the desk and go, I'm too old for this shit?
No, not once. It's not. I mean, maybe in issue 2, not issue 1.
Okay. Maybe it's a 3 where you missed it. Yeah. Damn it. I
missed the whole arc. There's like a riot patrol guy in Chicago.
Look at him now. Is that? Oh no, this is somebody. Who is the guy that's in the giant suit?
It goes from person to person. Everybody's a different thing.
Yeah, but who's got the big space vacuum?
No, it's like riot gear.
Oh, okay.
That's in Chicago.
It looks like a back massager.
I don't remember all of their names. I should have done this, but it's Riot Squad there. Essentially, they're just going from city to city.
Stanley Batch. That's who it is.
That's Stanley Batch.
Stanley Batch.
There
it says right down at the bottom. Yeah.
My bad. Then they go to Texas, and there's the cowboy-looking guy, of course, in Texas.
Says the name's O'Malley, a sensitive guy like you, Batch. What? Who talks like that?
O'Malley?
Oh my God! Look at this cowboy.
The sheriff. He's from Texas, obviously. Walker Calhoun is his name, and like he goes and he shoots at all the targets, and O'Malley's like, "It looks like you missed," and he's like, "Huh? Why don't you look at their gun barrels?" And all the gun barrels are like split
bananas.
down, and they look like bananas. And he's like, "All right." Well, let me shake your hand. Like he's shaking all these guys' hands to be like, let me see if you're worthy of this team. They go to
think a
Los
cowboy
Angeles.
like you could ever make peace back east?
That's how O'Malley talks. They go to Los Angeles for a guy who like fights traffic on a hoverboard. His name's Highway. I know his code name. But we watch him. Well, they're fighting crime in a future time, so that's why he's hoverboarding around. Like he just follows him as he pulls over and it like makes a highway patrol stop. And he's like, all right, you're on our team too. And then I think the last one they go to is Providence, Rhode Island, where we meet Blitz, which is the dog Blitz. I think the dog's name's Blitz. Yeah.
Action Blitz.
So we made a canine cop, but the dog is a robot dog named Blitz. And the guy's name, O'Malley makes fun of this guy's name because he goes, but he does set off his siren whenever he has to go out. Like, because he asks him, is he potty trained? Like he's making a joke. And O'Malley goes, after your name, I'll believe anything. And the guy goes, so what's so hard to believe, O'Malley, about Rex Pointer?
The whole thing. That's what's so hard to believe.
So then we're back at Empire City and they get a note that Vess is alive. Berserko does. And they're like, well, let's go ahead and shoot up Berserko. To Big Boss will like that. Well, they break into the room where he's at the hospital and they fire all their weaponry at him just for Vess to turn around and goes, ha, look at me now. I'm bulletproof.
You missed one good thing. Go back one time. That note up there. Me nurse girlfriend tells me Vess is still kicking in D hospital. Grab your Y-O-R-E ample AMPUL hind quarters and hold tight. Louis.
Yeah.
He's an idiot.
He is. But so Vess, survives and it scares the bad guys off as they run away. And they go back and they tell him, like, we tried to get Vess, but man, like, he's bulletproof now, kind of. And also, like, as we were trying to escape, you see that Berserko kind of falls down. He gets locked up in police custody and in jail.
Yeah.
So while he's there, he refuses to tell them anything about the scheme about this machine that Dr. Bad Vibes is making. But we
Just
do
think
find
about
out
the words you're saying.
I know.
Dr. Bad Vibes.
We do find out that Dr. Bad Vibes machine, what it does is he calls it a bad vibes machine, but it essentially just vibrates matter into nothing.
This is 1988.
Yes.
Nobody was using the word vibe.
They were in here.
Vibe was still like a 60s word. You know? Like
Yeah.
60s, 70s?
Yeah, I
Dr.
guess.
Bad
It's back
Vibe.
now.
Sounds like something you'd see on like Electric Company.
Probably. Well, along with Spidey. And the wall. But like he shows off the beam as it like hits like an armored truck and it like shakes it until there's nothing left. But all the money there and the guys and the tires, like it picks and chooses what matter it just breaks down.
Sure.
Because it's comics.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, this will be perfect. So he calls the mayor and he's like, Mayor, Big Boss calls the mayor and he goes, Mayor, you have my nephew in jail, Berserko, for shooting up, Agent Vess. How about you let him go? Or I essentially just, cause the bank to vibrate until all your money.
You know who's a really bad employee?
Who?
Millie. Millie is the secretary.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
And she picks up the phone and says, there's a Big Boss on line 2, Mayor Davis. Will you accept the call? What are you talking about, you idiot? It
is Big Boss.
It's just somebody named Big Boss. I'm not putting that through.
But he talks to him, and then he's like, what are we going to do? Like
that team.
And that's what we're getting to.
Boy,
yeah.
Oh boy.
He's like, what are we going to do? He goes to Agent Vess. Like he's threatening the bank if we don't let her go. And he's like, well, I've assembled the team. And we get the roll call again. Huge.
Banks are hard to threaten.
Huge-esque Sikorsky, codenamed Bullseye. That's what it says. Huge Sikorsky.
What is that?
It's above them in the speech bubbles. Stanley H. Bach, codename Barricade. That's the riot gear guy, I think. Colt Howard's codename Mace is like the guy that was shooting lasers and stuff, and like had the big cannon.
That is my pal Blitz.
Walter Cannon, codename Walker Calhoun, codename Sundown. That's the cowboy from Texas. Rex Pointer, codename Bowser, and here's my pal Blitz, as Mike said. And then David E. Harlson, or Harley Davidson. You get it? Just backwards.
Yeah.
Codenamed Highway, and Empire City's own PJ O'Malley, codenamed Longarm. They haven't fought anything. They haven't fought anything, Mike, but they all have code names.
Yeah.
That means that they sat around. They're like, before we go and do anything, we're each going to come up with cool code names.
They also feature their crotches very heavily in these. Like there's a bulge on every one of them.
Here, buy our toys. Oh man, action figure.
Now
bros.
with action crotch.
So
Sweats like real life.
oh man, so they go and they try to hunt down where this machine might be that Bad Vibes has that can cause these things to happen, and they're able to pinpoint the location that he has it in this old bunker. Not without losing a helicopter and stuff first, but the mayor is growing weary and he thinks that this cops team can't do it in time, so they release Berserko anyway. Well, before we figure out what happens after they release Berserko, let me tell you about what I saved for Mike to make sure that I included, which is Infocon presents Lane Mastodon for Info Comics. And he goes, "Hi, I'm Lane Mastodon, all-around hero, but more on that later. I'm here to tell you about Info Comics." I'm going to try to read this as an infomercial. Yeah. Do you like comic books?
Boy, do
then
I.
You'll love Info Comics. They've got great characters.
I
like
remember
the
these.
Gamma Force.
I remember these.
A trio of interstellar heroes, and the plots are out of this world. Do you like computers, Mike?
Oh boy, do I.
Then you'll love what your computer lets you do with Infocomics. You can switch viewpoints, leaving one character behind while you follow another through his part of the story, and the pictures move too.
The moving pictures.
Now, when the page is turned down like this, it means that you can switch to a different character. All you got to do, just hit the return, hit the return key, then sit back and enjoy. And here's the best part. I saved it for last.
Yeah.
They're only $12.
$12. What?
You get a lot for your money
I spent
too.
that on a candy
now
bar
here's
today.
the thing. That's just a suggested price. That's what we're just selling people.
Okay.
We suggest you sell that at.
Yeah.
You can watch each one 4 hours. It's not like you just watch it once for 15 minutes and
That'll
you're done.
feed a family for 6 weeks.
Now, I wonder what's going to happen to that brave water beast. I was going to tell you how I became a hero, but I'm busy now. You'll just have to get
I'm busy now sitting here doing this commercial.
You'll just have to get the Lane Mastodon info comic to find out. Ask for info comics available now. Let me read the last one. Who am I
asking?
Well, yeah, I'm going to read the last part then too. There's an info comics for everybody. Lane Mastodon accounts turned Lane Mastodon accountant turned interplanetary hero saves humanity from Blubberman of Jupiter. In the first of his hilarious series, a magic amulet leads a small caravan of travelers to mysterious Egrith Castle in the premiere issue of Zork Quest.
Oh, I love Zork
a
Quest.
Fantasy series set in the fabulous world of Zork. In Gamma Force #1, see the origins of the hero trio as they team up to free their planet from an evil overlord from his pit of thousand screams. Don't miss the premiere issues available now at your local software dealers. And there's more action and adventure to
Did you ever go to your local software
collect
dealer?
them all. I never had a local software dealer. I had Radio Shack for a little
There was a
bit, and maybe
place.
Circuit City.
There was a place when I was living in Austin. You
But
could
I'd
go and
consider software
rent
dealers.
software. Tell me what you're supposed to do with that.
I don't know.
You copy it is what you do.
Also, Mike, that does make sense. Kind of like Blockbuster
Yeah.
for software.
Yeah.
We also had an ad for some other buddies that we had early on in our tenure
I
here
remember
on
them.
Bros, and that is the new Guardians of the Galaxy. We mainly focused on their villains because they had the Hemogoblin, which was the AIDS vampire.
I remember that.
And then they had obviously everybody's favorite, Snowflame.
This is Sally McReachy.
You don't remember any of them.
Firehead.
You might remember one now for a different reason, but one of those.
Brain.
Yeah, that was Rom.
That is Tits McGee.
Sure.
Wizard.
The far guy is the Floronic Man. Do you remember Floronic
I do remember
Man
the Floronic
Man
from the Floronic Man
from Swamp Thing?
Sure. Yeah, I do remember that.
He was the bad guy. He was turned good at this point.
Okay.
We covered him back then. I think I might have tried to explain the Floronic Man then, but now you actually know who the Floronic Man is now. So the mayor releases Berserko, remember, back to Big Boss, and they go and they pick it up, and he's like, all right, now you'll quit causing terror. And Big Boss is like, well, no, now, like, I told you had like an hour to do it. Now I just don't have to wait. I can just still use the ray and like cause the bank to disintegrate. Like you just gave in to me and let me do what I wanted to do still.
I would very much like to read that line down in the bottom left-hand corner.
As
whenever
Dr.
you
Bad
get
Vibes?
to it. Yeah, go ahead.
So after they're in the clear, he tells them, Dr. Bad Vibes, go ahead and he goes, bust a few bricks for me is what he tells them. Or maybe that's Berserko that says that. And Bad Vibes says,
As soon as I can get to it, big boss. But right now, I'm a wee bit busy trying to oscillate the precisely proper I see, I can even fucking get to it. Precisely proper ultrasonic vibrational frequency for. And that's it.
Shaking apart one stubborn cop's
Yeah, he doesn't
flesh
say-
and
does he say that?
bones. I think that is him. Yeah,
Shaking apart one stubborn cop's flesh and bone.
dude, Mark Hamill would kill that.
Yeah,
I don't
he
know what
would.
I'm hearing
Yeah,
you read that.
yeah.
Like, I feel like that's
No, he's yeah. Mark Hamill would be great at that.
so Donnybrook.
He would never do it, but he'd
Yeah.
be great at it.
They realize they can't get in. Like, the compound is too tough for them to be able to get in to stop bad
Look at
vibes.
this guy's head.
Well, that's Donnybrook to go in and stop bad vibes is Ray. So they realize they need a way to like infiltrate it in. So
Did they
Donnie,
have to shave his head to get it in that thing?
I don't know. They call him Hard Top. I think is his code name after
He's
this.
hard top, all right.
He jumps into a police car and like rams it into the bunker so that they have access to Dr. Bad Vibes and his machine in there. Then
That's all it took? Driving a car into his bunker?
yeah. Oh, I got a little bit ahead of myself. They're
Oh.
back. So they can't
What's
break.
so exciting? I
I
understand.
know they can't. So the cops can't break through to get him. And Donnie
Mhm.
sees this back at the precinct and takes the cop car there to go do it.
Got it.
The other cops members are having to like protect other people, like the civilians and kids and stuff, from
So
debris
many
that's
words.
falling from the machine shaking the bank
Mhm.
highway, or that cop on
Shaking the bank.
a highway, or that cop on the cool hoverboard had to rescue that kid there from falling
Yeah.
debris.
That reminds me of the Superman trailer right there.
A little bit,
Oh,
sure.
just like it.
Mm.
Dude, stupid. He stole it.
Yeah. Oh man, from cops.
Bastard.
But the police car that Donnie is taking out, the Ram, it goes in and they tell him like, all right, I need to get through. He hits a ramp
Mhm.
or something like, I guess
Yeah.
a flipped over car that kind of projects
Yeah.
him up into the side
It's
of
crazy
the
how
building
there's
there.
always something to
There
drive
is.
over like that.
Well, you brought it up on World's Finest Wednesday, and I made a short out of it of
Mm.
how like all these schemes always seem to work out for him. Now, usually it's
Mhm.
Batman and Robin and them being silly, but it works out for Donnybrook here, and he crashes through, and they're able to destroy the machine, right? And it's all done for in a day's work for the
Wow,
cops.
That is great.
And they're back at the headquarters and later back at the precinct, and they're like, all right, the bank sustained severe damage, cops, and our first test wasn't pretty, but we did save the day, and besides, Big Boss jumped the gun on the deadline.
Sure.
And the mayor tells him, I'm just going to read this last page to wrap things up. The mayor tells him that, you know, I released Berserko, and Big Boss had the incentive to wait the full hour, and he still went ahead and did it anyway. And Vest is like, that's why you can never trust criminals like Big Boss. He's like, you're right. It concurs to me, though, that this team is not quite complete, is what Vest tells the mayor. And he's like, oh, who do we need? And he's like, we want to add Tina and Donnie since they helped us out.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
And so now
I
the
don't-
cops
I don't-
grew.
I don't know, Donnie.
Donnie, he's the guy who rammed.
That,
He
no,
jumped the car.
I'm saying that's what she says.
Oh, she goes, I don't know.
Donnie.
I thought you were like, I
know.
don't know who Donnie is.
I
was
don't
like,
know,
"Who's that?
Donnie.
Donnie, I don't know.
Huh? What does he mean, Tina? I don't know, Donnie.
You guys are gonna be members of cops.
That the mayor
That's
looks
what
like
it
a
says.
flasher. Like
He
he's gonna
does look
flash
like he has,
somebody
like,
at
a
any point.
jacket.
Yeah.
He's like, "Ah."
That kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh man. And, so
And then there's
there
a
you go.
coloring page.
There's
That's
there was
nice.
a coloring
Oh, look at
page on that.
that.
Hold on, let me make you bigger now
Yeah.
that we're done with it. There, you want to hold it back up
Yeah,
again?
it's a coloring page. Look at that.
Oh, here, I can
It's
do this. I can do some magic and
Oh yeah. Oh, look at me. Coloring
I
page.
can't zoom
coloring
in, yeah.
page, Coloring page. Whoa, now it's in 3D. Look.
oh there. Now I look at you though, and we're looking at each other too.
We changed. Hey, by the way, you missed Animal Man.
Oh, there was an ad for Animal
got
Man, and
Animal
that is
Man,
so
yeah.
that is Grant Morrison's Animal Man.
Yeah,
Take
that
two.
one looks a little different.
That is Grant Morrison's Animal Man, which is actually take 3. That is Grant Morrison's Animal Man, which is really good and really like people really enjoy the run on. That is something that we will cover in the good things at some point in time. We can't see that. You're gonna have to read.
Taller, it says.
Oh, does it tell you
Be
how?
Taller.
You just wish it.
What a thing to tell people. Be taller.
That's true. But
You
we will
bitch.
we'll
Be taller.
We'll actually get to Animal Man at some point in time. That series specifically. It's even to a point where I think Grant Morrison, writes himself in the series.
Really?
Like that's how like Animal
Oh,
Man.
wow.
Animal Man meets the writer of his comic.
Oh, that's
like
kinda cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like they let Morrison do some stuff with that animal, and
Aminal Man.
they let Grant Morrison do some stuff with that Animal Man run. That'll be fun to break down too. What we have coming up for you next week is the last one of our stories. Let me see if I have this so I can tease it a little bit.
While you're looking for that, can I read something to you?
Yeah, yep. You can read anything.
What's the next step with the cyborg warrior we developed? Add a tail gunner, graft a second brain onto his body to expand his reactive capabilities. Whose brain? We use Joe. His daughter? She's expendable. They won't like it. Will you tell them? Not until it's too late. Tail gunner J.O. And does J.O. stand for jack off? I don't know what that stands for.
Hold on.
They're going to use his daughter's brain. They're going to kill her to use his
tail
brain.
Gunner?
Tail gunner J.O.
I feel like this is like an anime or something, right? J.O.?
J.O. I'm telling you.
Not Tail Gunner Joe. Oh, it's a comic. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. How do I not know? Okay. It was an American 6-issue comic book limited series written by Peter B. Gillis with artwork by Tom Artist.
Do you
The
know
cover
Peter
dates
B.
run.
Gillis?
Not
Yeah.
right offhand.
Yeah,
I'll
nobody does.
look. Oh, you don't know about that. The cover dates run from September of 1988 through January of 1989,
It's suggested
with
for-
issue 5 dated as winter. Okay.
It's suggested for mature
The
viewers.
series tells the
readers.
story of Lars Gunner and his daughter Joe, whose consciousness was implanted into his own brain as a result of
His
manipulation.
own brain, not someone else's brain.
No, as a
Yeah.
result of manipulation by the Telemachus Corporation,
Telemachus.
so as to create a cyborg with 2 minds. Do we want to read Tail Gunner Joe?
Yeah, if you can find it, I would love to read it.
Do you really?
Hey, and yeah, come
Okay.
on. And then the greatest thing of all, the Hunt for Red October board game.
Oh, you really hated on that. You
Well,
wouldn't play it? I'd
my-
play it once.
Would you?
Once.
Well, number one, the ad is crooked.
Well, we got into the argument of like, no, I want to be Sean Connery this
That's
time.
right. That's right.
Is that what you
I wanna
argue
be
over?
Alec Baldwin.
Mhm.
Isn't he in it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in forever.
I'm going to be Tom Clancy. I'm going to run all of you.
That's the DM for this. Yeah, Alec Baldwin's in there. James
says-
Earl Jones? No, hold on.
Says you have to think because those who
Oh,
don't.
dude. Okay,
sink.
hold on.
This
Oh,
is Battleship is what this
okay.
is.
This, well, then, but this cast, I forgot how good this cast is. Sean Connery,
Mhm,
Alec Baldwin,
mhm,
Sam Neill,
mhm.
Scott Glenn,
Yep.
James Earl Jones, Tim Curry, Peter Firth, Richard Jordan. But
So
a lot of people to be from. I don't know.
it is a very good movie.
So,
right?
Yeah. Do you have something to say?
I do. Hang on, let me see if I can find it.
Well, real
here.
quick, while
Yeah,
you
go
look
for
that
it.
up, let me go ahead and tease. Next week coming up, this issue, our episode will probably come out on Friday, and I'll probably try to catch up then by having Scarlet
Yeah.
come out on Monday. And so we're back on track, but that's what we have coming up next for you. Oh, I didn't want it to do like that. I want to do it like that. We have Scarlet, Mike, which is, you can see,
Ooh,
it's about vampires, and that is also one that I have the physical issue of.
look at that
For some
guy's
reason.
hair.
I don't know if that's something that I grabbed. I think this is one that I grabbed out of your box. That's a weird
Excuse
thing
me?
to say. The box of comics you had, I think
Mhm.
this is one that I grabbed out of it. So we will do Scarlet next week to close out, and then we will open up voting and everybody can decide.
So this is the end of Hunt for Red October.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. It is the worst green screen I have ever seen in my life, and it ruined the entire movie for me. Because their
Oh,
heads are sticking up out of the little submarine, right?
yeah.
And they're talking, and then they've got all this stuff in the background. They're in a studio. It's friggin' awful. It's bad.
Well,
Bad green screen. Bad.
all right.
The movie, the content of the movie is good.
Good. No, I
Yeah.
get that.
Well, I mean, it's what's his ass.
Yeah,
Tom
what's
Clancy.
his ass?
It's Tom Clancy. So
It's
I mean,
what's
it's a
his
good
ass.
story. It's just that you know what else I hate?
Hmm.
Here's something I really don't like. It's when they do an ad
Yeah.
on the back of a comic book,
Yeah.
and it says based on Tom Clancy's best-selling novel, The Hunt for Red October.
Instead of making it fit.
Game puts you in command of today's most sophisticated.
It's a
American
Tober
night ever
game.
seen.
What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's an October game.
I got you. No, I get that. Anyway, all right. That was Cops Fighting Crime in a Future Time.
Yeah.
We got to watch some episodes of that cartoon.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, we're gonna
that.
look at Bad Vibes voice once we get done to see how close Mike was to
Let's
that.
do that.
But as always, thank you guys for tuning in and watching or listening. If you are listening, apologize about you just hearing music for a bit when we played the intro, but
No
still.
problem.
Thank you guys, honestly, as always, for that, and appreciate it enough. Make sure to check out the other great podcasts on the Rogue Media Network family of podcasts.
Rogue Media Network. roguemedia.com.
And until next time, stay safe, everybody.
Golly con, everyone.
Pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.